Suddenly rich from oil and natural gas in the late 1800s, Parkersburg, West Virginia flourished into a vivacious city that welcomed businessmen and visitors from all over the country. Born into that prosperous time, the Blennerhassett Hotel opened its doors May 6, 1889, after having been under construction for 6 years. The hotel immediately began serving guests with an unmatched style and elegance. The Blennerhassett Hotel was designed and built by William Nelson Chancellor, then mayor of Parkersburg and businessman for the millionaires of the day. The hotel was a grand showplace that radiated the captivating atmosphere of the Gaslight era. The architectural style of the hotel's exterior is Victorian Queen Anne and includes the Romanesque Revival style, which can be seen in the tower and turret section of the hotel on the corner of 4th and Market Streets. The original entrance to the hotel, which took you into the First National Bank of Parkersburg, to which William Chancellor was once president, was located on the hotel's ground floor, near where the lobby is currently situated. The original entrance has long since been walled off, and that area now invites today's guests into the hotel library with its quiet and warming corridors to either relax, read, or enjoy a game of chess. It was second to none in the state when it came to hotels. Grand for its time, the original hotel had approximately 50 guest rooms that were built around a central staircase and spanned 4 floors, with the kitchen located on the 5th floor. The common area where guests could socialize was located on the 2nd floor, as well as the 2 double parlors. One of the parlors housed an upright piano. The restaurant was also located on the 2nd floor and could seat up to 80 guests at one time. Some of the best aspects of the hotel were in fact created nearby. A company from Cincinnati, Ohio did the original frescoing for the hotel. The Bentley and Gerwood Carpet and Furniture Store in Parkersburg furnished the hotel. A Cincinnati company also designed all the window treatments throughout the hotel. Local Parkersburg companies put in all the plumbing, gas, and electricity, giving the hotel the modern-day convenience of indoor restrooms, all the while illuminating the Gaslight era. It even featured an electric guest elevator, as well as a service elevator. It was a state-of-the-art building for its time. Still, no matter the distance traveled by the hotel to create an elegant aesthetic, the city of Parkersburg continued to shine through. The first proprietor / general manager to lease the hotel from William Chancellor was a man by the name of George C. Campbell. He was given the task of naming the hotel and was originally going to name it the Argyle. He eventually settled upon the name of the Blennerhassett, due to the history behind Harmon Blennerhassett, an eccentric Irish aristocrat, and his connections with the Parkersburg area. The Grand Hotel has survived flood and fire over her many decades of operation. In the early 1900s, the local Ohio River overflowed its banks, spilling water into the streets of Parkersburg and into the lobby of the Blennerhassett. Between the mid to late 1970s, the hotel started to offer short-term leases on some of its rooms. Approximately 30 elderly residents resided in the hotel when the 2nd floor fire broke out on May 9, 1979. The fire was fortunately abated before reaching the 5th floor and possibly destroying the entire building. Prompted by a group of Parkersburg locals in the early 1980s, Pennsylvania-based investors took on plans to renovate and restore the Blennerhassett to its previous glory. The project started in 1985, and on New Year's Eve, the hotel reopened its doors. Over $7 million later, the Blennerhassett was once again restored back to its elegance and beauty. Interior designers traveled to New York and as far as England to furnish the Blennerhassett with authentic antiques from its late 1800s period.
And it is 1870, and this is a mirror that came from one of the historical homes to the Juliana Street District area. And it was purchased for the home when it was built, and over the years the family had acquired it and they had moved to the Carolinas, and so they decided this year to donate this to the hotel. And so we acquired this pier mirror, 1870, and we had a company in town go down to the Carolinas and pack it up and bring it back here to the hotel. So, the hotel's had a lot of famous people and celebrities and people stay here over the years. We're not allowed to publicize that, but I do have a list type just to let you know about 40 people that I do know that have stayed here. A couple things we can talk about on the political side is that John F. Kennedy stayed here twice in 1 week of May of 1960 when he was running on his campaign for presidency of the United States. And he was trying to win the West Virginia primary election, I believe it was. And so he stayed here twice. He spoke at the city park, spoke at Martinsburg High School. There was a parade in town here. A luncheon was given here, housed here at the Blennerhassett Hotel. He also spoke at the Chancellor Hotel. Jackie stayed with him his second visit, and she was pregnant with John F. Kennedy Jr. at the time they stayed here. And the suite that they stayed in was located on this side, on the second story of this building. See, before 1985, this is all the new part of the building, kind of the beige color. And the buildings went up 2 stories, and from what I understand, part of the second story building that was located next to the hotel was incorporated back into the hotel, a large suite. And so this would have been the side of the building where that suite was located and where Kennedy stayed when he stayed here. Back in the day, this was the entranceway into the cigar and smoke stand area of the hotel in 1885.
The mirror frames in the promenade are over 100 years old, and they came from a New York City department store. It was also during this mid-80s renovation that the Blennerhassett's next-door neighbor, the Kaltenecker building, which houses the current-day dining room, would become part of the makeover. The building was constructed around the same time as the hotel by another of Parkersburg's businessmen, Johann Kaltenecker. It was agreed upon during the construction that the Kaltenecker's exterior would match the Blennerhassett's. It was during the 1985-1986 second renovation when this building was incorporated into the main building. The Kaltenecker name can be seen on a portion of sandstone located on the front of the building.
Behind this inconspicuous emergency door lays an area of the Blennerhassett known as the Bootlegger's Stairwell. Uncovered during the hotel's reconstruction during the 1980s, while the Kaltenecker building and the Blennerhassett Hotel were merged into one, it is believed to have been built during the Prohibition era as a way to secretly smuggle illegal liquor from the street into the basement. It now serves as a handy exit in case of emergency.
In the present day, the Blennerhassett's 89 guest rooms, from traditional to opulent, beautifully exhibit a European style of decor. The Blennerhassett's Grand Charleston Ballroom stays busy, as it is a popular spot for weddings and special events. The hotel also prides itself on fine formal and banquet dining. Dogs are permitted in all public areas of the hotel, but are not permitted in the restaurant. lounge and patio courtyard. It is in the library where some of the hotel staff and guests have reported the presence of Mr. Chancellor when they catch the smell and sometimes the sight of cigar smoke. Mr. Chancellor in his days of the living was rarely seen without a fine cigar in his hand. Known to be very accommodating to the guests, Chancellor would often escort the guests to their rooms by operating the elevator, and some believe he still does. The elevator was known to have a mind of its own, seeming to open for guests as they approached, though there was no one in the elevator, as well as randomly stopping and opening on different floors. But after an update to the elevator bank, this is a far less common occurrence. The second floor is probably one of the most active areas in the hotel. On this floor is the mysterious Red Room, known by some to create a sense of dread, but it merely acquired its name for simply having been painted the color red. It's believed the Red Room served as a private residence for William Chancellor when he would stay at the hotel. What was once the Red Room is now the Stratford Boardroom. Currently, the second floor offers various boardrooms and executive suites, as well as regular guest rooms. Perhaps the darkest ghost story surrounding the hotel, and the one that is left off the official tour, are the reports of an entity in the basement. But let's make our way up out of the basement as our tour of the Blennerhassett Hotel comes to a close.